Guatemala, was visiting some family in El Paso. And in the era before Tinder, we got set up on a blind date. And so and Jim backed me up on this one, like any good boy from El Paso, I picked up Amy at the place she was staying and drove her across the Stanton Street Bridge into Ciudad Juarez, where we went to the Kentucky Club, where the margarita was invented, where I'd like to think that Bob Dylan wrote Tom Thumb's Blues, where Johnny Cash bought his drugs, where Elizabeth Taylor drowned her sorrows after her first divorce, after spending her honeymoon in El Paso, Texas in the penthouse suite of the Hilton Hotel when she was married to Nicky Hilton. That is where I took Amy for our first date.
Yeah!
And folks, it worked. We went out onto Avenida Juarez after that drink and walked down to the cathedral and the Mission of Guadalupe, which has been standing now for 330 years. And we took in the sights and the sounds and the smells and the history and the people who were strolling arm in arm, some dancing to the musicians who were playing out in the little placita. And as I watched Amy falling in love with my part of the world and a place that perhaps I had taken for granted growing up and a place that too few other people know about or have ever visited, I absolutely was falling in love with her. Within months we were engaged. Months later we were married. Not too many months after that we had our first child, Ulysses, who's now about to be 12 years old. And it was in this community, this proud, defining, binational border town, that we watched the election results in November of 2016. And someone who had described those immigrants that I'm so proud of in El Paso as rapists and criminals now describes them as animals and infestations. Someone who proposed to build a 2,000-mile wall, 30 feet high, at the bargain price of $30 billion to keep them out as long as Mexico, of course, was going to pay for it. Someone who promised to ban all Muslims, all people of one religion, from the shores of a country that is comprised of people, the planet over all walks of life, all traditions of faith. Someone who talked about the press as the enemy of the people instead of the best defense against tyranny. Amy and I decided that this absolutely didn't sound like the America that I grew up in. It doesn't sound like the America that we describe and promise to our kids. It doesn't sound like El Paso, Texas, this community that I am fiercely proud of. And so what are we going to do about it? We can be despondent, we can be depressed, we can despair, or we can get after it and start traveling the counties of Texas, meeting our fellow Texans, and finding out if you, like we, want to do something bigger and better than what we are already doing. If we want to be the match and the answer to this smallness, this pettiness, this meanness, this anxiety, this hatred, this bigotry, this racism, and this paranoia that seems to dominate our national politics right now. In other words, could Texas be the big, bold, beautiful, strong, courageous, confident answer to what's happening in the country right now?
Yes!